infiltrated by three powerful secret societies, the Freemasons, the Nazis, and what I call the magicians, who are basically followers of Aleister Crowley out at JPL. And there's this real pattern of them being interested in stuff and naming spacecraft even after ancient Egyptian gods, like the Apollo 16 lunar module was named Orion. That is actually the Egyptian god Osiris. And they landed on the moon on Adolf Hitler's birthday at the exact time that Orion's belt was 33 degrees above the landing site. And all that stuff is not a coincidence. NASA definitely plans this, and it's all got to do with some sort of magical alignments that they think will make their missions be successful.
You'll see that the most prominent object in the seal is a red swooshing object. They call that the chevron or the vector. If you ask NASA's Public Affairs Office, this symbology is featured so heavily in their insignia and seal, they'll give you what really amounts to the standard facile cover story for the unilluminated. They'll tell you that that is a representation of a hypersonic wing design from the 1950s, which was the time the logo was created. Not exactly the case. Someone might want to ask the Russian Federal Space Agency, Roscosmos, that was formed in 1992, why they chose that same logo. And while you're at it, you can go ask the Chinese, who formed their space agency in 1996, why in the world they're using a hypersonic wing design from the 1950s as their official logo. Then you can ask the Japanese, the South Koreans, Taiwanese, Malaysia, Mexico, Iran, all of these countries, even Bulgaria. They all utilize the vector symbology in their space agency logos for their national space agencies. It gets even deeper. You can go and look at the individual manned program patches for NASA. The Mercury program, for example, a blatant use of covert symbology. In every logo dealing with the Mercury program, you'll see what looks like a number 7 in their logo. And again, NASA's official story is that they put this number 7 there so that they could pay homage to the original 7 Mercury astronauts. Kind of forgetting the fact that only 6 Mercury astronauts actually flew into space, because number 7 never did. Deke Slayton had a heart problem, so he didn't get to go up. So there were only 6 Mercury astronauts, yet there's a 7 in every single logo. That's in the official mission or official program insignia for Mercury, as well as the 6 individual mission patches carry this logo. And it carries on to the Space Shuttle program. If you look at the Apollo logo has a big letter A in it. At least that's what they want you to believe, but it's not. Again, that's just a simple way of explaining away the inclusion of this vector symbology in the logo. If you go to the Space Shuttle program, the original Space Shuttle STS program patch is a triangular patch that, again, hides the use of the chevronic vector symbology. And that also goes for many of the STS-specific mission patches. Every single one of the International Space Station expedition patches carry the vector symbology. The Russian Mir space station used the vector symbology. That was their official logo. And you can go deeper and look at military-industrial complex companies. Look at the logo on a company like Lockheed Martin, 2 vectors. The X Prize logo, Ames Research Labs, U.S. Space Command. When you get into the military realm, the United States Space Command, their official logo is the vector symbol. And when you look at the military's individual space-specific programs, all of them deal with vector symbology in their official insignias. And the question really becomes, who or what are these people paying homage to? And the truth, quite frankly, is out of this world.
This is the No Face movement, and I'm making a series about the real Illuminati, the Nazis, secret societies, and what's controlling our world. Who are these beings, and what are they here for? Alright, in the video before I started talking about, we heard some people talking about why is NASA looking at ancient structures when their whole purpose and job is to study space and put more satellites, go to the moon, go to Mars, if you guys believe in them. First question is our Earth round or flat? So we're going to debunk this through the series of video. It could be flat, it could be round. Ain't no lie. Also, why are they studying ancient structures? People watch Ancient Aliens, people talk about ancient astronauts. Why do NASA is so worried about these ancient sites, these ancient structures? Who are the people that control the world? Are they angels? Are they reptilians? We are going to answer that. So let's start off the video. So why is NASA looking at these monolithic, ancient, biblical, ancient artifact sites? My belief is for energy, the ley lines of the earth. Okay? So these are the ancient sites and biblical sites that NASA is looking at and actually sending scientists there. The first one is called Mount Ararat. Alright, so the links are going to be at the bottom. Mount Ararat anomaly is an object appearing on photographs of snowfields near the summit of Mount Ararat, Turkey, and advanced by some Christian believers as the remains of Noah's Ark. The links are going to be at the bottom itself. Alright, the first time people realized about Mount Ararat was from the U.S. Air Force aerial recon mission in 1949. The Ararat site was on the former Turkish-Soviet border. So they took pictures because they did not know what this is. But then, NASA, France Spot, the land site, a whole bunch of other people, CIA, the KH-9, KH-11, they took pictures of the site 1989. So 40 years later, they're still taking pictures of it, and they're still trying to figure out what's on the Ararat anomaly. Is this where Noah's Ark was left at? Also, a lot of stuff NASA's doing, right? NASA also is looking. Two NASA Earth scientists have traded in their condition offices for sweltering fields of central Turkey. That's where near Mount Ararat, totaling 9 or more hours per day, 7 days a week. They walk up to 10 miles a day searching for ancient Turkey archaeology ground for bone fragments. For what reason is NASA looking for bone fragments in Turkey? NASA is about space. Why are they looking for bones on the ground? Alright, so we already know that they're doing these archaeology digs and stuff that has nothing to do with space. Also, NASA, alright, University Science Undercover lost Maya runes from space. So not just that, they're using their space technology from satellites to look at ancient structures, and they found runes from it, and they're interested in that. Peering through the sands of time. And this link right here, another Earth observatory, origin of space archaeology. Alright, so we're talking about ancient aliens, alright? So they've been doing this since the 40s, the 80s, looking at ancient structures, sending people for archaeology digs. Why? Why? If we never had technology before and people had no technology before and we could move 1,000,000 pounds of stones, like they said, why are they looking at that? Because it's all a theory. Something happened at the beginning of time. That's why we entered the Dark Ages. We lost technology. We enter the Dark Ages, then we get technology. Like tomorrow, if our technology goes out, who do you know knows how to go build a house? Know how to do a crop? Who knows how to build a cell phone? We'll lose all the information that we once knew until we got to this point in time where technology took over everything. Technology is wiped out from solar flare, EMP, war, where we're back at square one and at the Dark Ages. Who is NASA, though? All right, why are they doing all these archaeology stuff? All right, also, archaeology remote sensing. Now more than ever, archaeology research is in all different kind of sciences, all which contribute to more complete understanding of the earth, the climate, the shifts, and how people adapt to large reason. So is this why they're really doing all these archaeology digs at old sites, or is there something more? The truth is, you and I know, there's something more going on in these ancient sites. I've done videos where the pyramids weren't no tombs, were actually, what is it called? They were powerhouses. Alright? Like we had nuclear reactors. That's where the power in the ancient time used to come from. And Nikola Tesla, before Thomas Edison wiped him out, all right, and bought him out, and he died broke too. Nikola Tesla did, all right, from making electricity out the ground to cover that up. And he took that information from the Egyptians, all right. So now they're doing archaeology, remote sensing, all right. Hidden portals. Another thing that NASA is doing is looking at hidden portals. We know NASA's studied electronic fields around the Earth, and that's been going on since day one. NASA been up and running. Hidden portals in Earth magnetic field. They're trying to understand, how do our magnetic field work? Where does it come from? All these ancient structures and ancient sites are on ley lines, all right, with power. They're trying to figure out why. Where's all this energy come from? How can they use this energy to move through space faster? How could they use this energy for the next ages? All right, but there's more of a sinister plan here. All right, I believe in the Bible. All right, I don't believe in the Bible like a lot of people do. I believe in the Heavenly Father and the Heavenly Father's Son. What's going on here is something deeper. All right, and in this video, we're going to expose what NASA is. We are going to first give you guys proven facts. It's different when all these videos that you see on YouTube talk about it. But when I could show you it from legit sites, from NASA, from the CIA, from legit sites that's open to the public, that is proof, and it's not a conspiracy no more. So let's find out who discovered NASA. The links are going to be at the bottom. Central Intelligence Agency. It was called Operation Paperclip, the secret intelligence program to bring Nazi scientists to America. All right, you guys can read the rest. You guys know that the CIA, through Operation Paperclip, the secret intelligence program to bring Nazi scientists to America. Let's get into this. Who is one of the founders of NASA? And before we get into that, I want to show you about some of this. So when you look at NASA, I want you guys all know they call it the chevron. They call it the meatball. They call it the vector. This red 7, red upside down, snake tongue, whatever you want to call it. But in all these things, there's that one common thing. And when you look at the circle, that represents the snake eating. And when you look at the stars, they're in certain places. So who founded NASA? Well, let's scroll down the creation. So it was created during President Dwight D. Eisenhower. All right. And they got a cat. That's a Nazi. All right. And his name, let's scroll down. Give me a second, folks. I might not say his name the proper, but it was Warren von Braun. All right. So who was Warren von Braun? Warren von Braun, June 16th, 1977. That's when he died. Was a German, later American aerospace engineer. And I want you guys to remember, Germany. Germany, Germany, Germany. Because it connects to the Illuminati and who controls the world and who's behind it. Remember, Germany. All right. Nazis may lost World War II, but their belief system done elapsed the war, and that's where we get the modern day Illuminati. Because remember, the Nazis were curious about occultics. Their symbols were occultics, looking for ancient artifacts, looking for all that. Just like how NASA is looking at these ancient structures to find out their gravity. And when the guy that founded it, one of the founding fathers of it, was a Nazi scientist. All right, was from Germany. All right, Warren von Braun invented the V-2 rocket for Nazi Germany and the Saturn V for the United States. He was the leading figure in the development of rocket technology in Germany and the father of rocket technology and space science in the United States. Before he founded and was working for NASA, it was the father of rocket technology for NASA. He worked for a company called, still in charge too, Army. Well, he's passed, Still running. Army Ballistic Missile Agency. The Army Ballistic Missile Agency was formed to develop the U.S. Army's first large ballistic missile. The agency was established at Redstone Arsenal on February 1st, 1956, and commanded by Major General John B. Medras, with Warren von Braun as technical director. All right. And all their missiles and a lot of NASA stuff and a lot of their technology. Now they got SpaceX. But the people that build these things was the Martin Company. I want you guys to go check this out. So what was Glenn L. Martin? All right, that was the company that built it. The Glenn L. Martin was an American aircraft and aerospace manufacturing company that was founded by aviation pioneer Glenn L. Martin. All right. It was all the way up founded in 1912, and it was defunct in 1961. The successor was Lockheed Martin, basically, today. Now, you guys seen the NASA, that red 7 sign, that wave, that arrow wing, what they call it, right? Now, when you look at Lockheed Martin, you will see the same sign. You see that 7, the vector 2 ways? Why do they have that? All right, and it's not just NASA. It's every NASA program. It's every space program in the world. It's on almost all the badges for military, for any kind of air defense, Navy, ops. They got a symbol that's hidden in there of a vector or a chevron. What does that mean, folks? All right, look at the NASA meatball right here. You see that 7? Or when you go to Orion 6, they got it. All the missions got the vector, that red vector. It may be different shapes, but it's in everything, folks. Everything. And in the video after this that I put together with my friend, that we're going to show you, we're going to expose what's going on. Because it's going to be linked up. Now, who is another person that was involved in the finding of rocket and aerospace technology? The guy name was John Whiteside. His name that he went by was Jack Parson. October 2nd, 1914 he was born. He died June 17, 1952. Was an American rocket engineer and rocket propulsion researcher, chemist, and a Thelemite occultist. This guy was an occultist, satanic worship person. And he is the one that invented the first rocket engine. He is one of the people that was in NASA. So on top of this, we got von Braun, that's a Nazi Germany, with all their occult beliefs, their symbology now in NASA. And now, remember, Germany, Bavaria, Germany. Remember Bavaria, Germany, because this is in the second video. Now we got Jack Parson, all right? And we're going to go to his occultist belief. After a brief involvement with Marxism in 1939, Parson converted to Thelema, the English occultist Aleister Crowley's new religious movement in 1941. Alongside his first wife, Helen Northper, Parson joined the A-Gap Lodge, the California branch of the Thermo OTO, that's at Crowley's bidding. He replaced Tam Smith as its leader in 1942. He was also one of the leaders for the OTO, for the Thelma Society, or for Aleister Crowley, and ran the lodge from his mansion on Orange Grove Avenue. Parson was expelled from JPL Aero in 1944 due to the lodge infamy. All right. After that, in 1945, Parson separated from Helen after having an affair with her sister Sarah, and Sarah left him for L. Ron Hubbard. He is the guy that invented Scientology. All right, he conducted the Babylon working. All right, we're gonna get right deep into that. Babylon working, a series of rituals designed to invoke the Thelma goddess Babylon to Earth. Now remember, they're looking at all these, NASA's looking at all these ancient sites, all right? Got that mystery vector, chevron, meatball, whatever you want to call that sign. It's on all the signs for air technology. All right, and this guy is trying to call the Babylonian goddess to Earth. He and Hubbard continue the process with major ceremonies, whom Patterson married, and that was his second wife, after Hubbard and Sarah's the fruit. All right, you guys could go read on. He only lived to be 50 through. He died at the age of 37 because of accidental explosion from one of his rockets. Because he came back to NASA. So we know who Aleister Crowley is. Aleister Crowley had a bunch of people behind. All right, and he founded a religion, Thelma, ODD. He was involved in a lot of other things that we're going to get right into Aeon of Horus. Remember, when they're talking about space, they talk about aeons. Aeons this, aeons that, aeons this. You got to think where this belief came from. All right, so let's move on. I can't really pronounce it there right. Ordo Templi Orientis. So I'm just going to call it OTO. All right. The OTO is an international fraternity and religious organization founded at the beginning of the 20th century by Karl Kellner. We're going to show that guy in a second. We're going to open up that in a news site because, remember, Germany. All about Germany, right? Because you guys are going to understand by the end of the second video why. All right, so we're going to go to Karl Kellner. All right. He was a Rosicrucian, all right, a Rosicrucian, and he was a student of Freemasonry. All right, so Aleister Crowley followed him, and he was the founder of the OTO Temple, all right, with Aleister Crowley. All right, so you got Freemason and Rosicrucian. Freemason is in every single town and every single city you go to. Rosicrucian is the Scottish Rite, and we're going to go right to that right now. All right, and he was a Freemason too, the other guy that founded, and he believed in a different society. He was part of the OTO. The links are gonna be it, but check this out. In 1880, in Montreux, he participated in an attempt to review Adam's Wisdom, Bavarian Order of Illuminati. In the second video, what we're going to talk about the Bavarian Illuminati. People just call it the Illuminati. They ain't tapping on no doors. The real name is Bavarian Illuminati from Germany. We got all these NASA, Nazi scientists coming over here. We're about to get deep in with Prescott Bush, with Donald Trump. Yeah, if you guys don't follow Donald Trump, yeah, this is all part of the New World Order plan. But let's move on. We got the Thelma Society. Now, remember that vector sign that I said it was on everything? Look at the symbol of the Thelma Society. All right, you see that symbol? Let's go back. All right, now let's go back to NASA's meatball. You're going to see the same red symbol. You see that symbol. All right, see that symbol. Let's go back to Thelma. Boom, right there. Let's move on to the Babylon Works. Definition, links are going to be at the bottom. But remember, Jack Peterson invoked the Babylon goddess, also known as the Scarlet Woman, the Great Mother, a mother of abomination, is the goddess found in the mystical system of Thelma, which was established in 1904 with English author occultist Aleister Crowley. You see all the sevens? You see the Nazi crosses in there? Look at those sevens. That's the same kind of vector that they use in NASA and Lockheed Martin. All right, let's move on. So I got Thelma and their vector symbol. Now we're going to go to Thule Society. All right, the Thule Society was a German occultist group founded in Munich right after World War I, named after a mythical northern country in Greek legend. The society noble chief as organization sponsored the Dutch, which was later reorganized by Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler followed this, all right? And look at all the people from Bavaria. If you just read through this, look at all the people from Germany and from Bavaria, Germany that followed us. All right? The Aryan race, the Germanic order. All right? Look at the world today, folks. Open up your mind. Who won World War II? We may won World War II physically, but the Nazis won World War II mentally. It's in all our society. Let's go back to this vector symbol. All right. Look at the vector symbol. It's in everything. The Apollo upside down, and NASA, and all the Apollo missions. You see it in their meatball symbol. You see it in all different badges. You see it in everything. The vector symbol. You see it in space operation. You see it in defense. You see it in everything. The links are going to be at the bottom. And same with NASA logo. And what's NASA's meaning? What is NASA's meaning in Hebrew? To deceive in plain sight for all to see. So, you're going to see the video come right after this. So, what's happening with NASA? Why are they studying all these ancient artifacts, biblical artifacts, having archaeology when they're supposed to be in space? One reason is that there's something else. Not from this world. You want to call aliens? That's what people call aliens nowadays, aliens. Before our modern generation, they called them angels, the fallen ones. All right? NASA, the word NASA in Hebrew, means to deceive in plain sight for all to see. That also, if you read the Hebrew Bible in Genesis the regular way, when you hear about the serpent, what people call reptilians and all that stuff, they would say the word nasa. All right, that's in Hebrew. All right, means to deceive in plain sight. That vector symbol, and they're studying geometric, how the world works, space holes, electronic magnetic field, or these ancient structure. The reason is for the energy, the ley lines, the power. All right. And they're using it for something else. And all the people that founded this to deceive in plain sight, and people might be right, the world might be flat. All right? But the truth is, that symbol means energy. They're calling, the guy Jack Peterson did a magical ritual, called the Babylonian goddess to Earth, then back out to space. They're searching in archaeology, ancient structure that ancient aliens and shows like that talk about for energy. And they've been doing it longer and longer than the TV show's been out. And you got people that's in the Nazi occult, Aleister Crowley, Scientology. You got to think how big this is. Freemasonry. All right, this is all about the Illuminati controlling you, controlling what you see, controlling what you hear, deceiving you, lying to you. Check out the video right after this. This is the No Face movement. Moving to the next time. This is part 1. We got part 2 coming up. Peace out.